Today we're talking about the 5 reasons why it's so dangerous to mess with an INFJ. If you're an INFJ, you know that you don't like confrontation, you don't like conflict, and you're definitely not asking for drama. But from time to time, it seems like people are just waiting for it. There's nothing you can do to avoid it, and at some point, you have to strike back. And if that happens, it has huge consequences, not just for others, but believe it or not, for the INFJ as well. And today we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why it's so dangerous to mess with an INFJ. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you say, now is my time, I want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guides today. Everything you need to know, you can find in the links in the description. Reason number 1 why it's so dangerous to mess with an INFJ is because the INFJ is unpredictable. The INFJ doesn't show their cards. The INFJ is an observer, meaning we know what the other person is about, but they barely know what we are about. They don't know what we're capable of, they don't know what our hidden talents are, and they definitely don't know what is going on through our mind. We might work on this aspect. It might be something that isn't always in the best interest for them or for us, but the truth is that's how we're wired. So if we're not doing anything in particular and we're minding our own business, we will be unpredictable. That's just how we go through life. That's how our mind works. And this makes us incredibly dangerous because people don't know what's coming. People don't know where we're going to hit. And they don't know when it's going to be that time or when they've definitely crossed a boundary that we cannot take anymore. Reason number 2 why it's so dangerous to mess with an INFJ is because INFJs are subtle. When an INFJ strikes back, when an INFJ has had it and they have no other choice but to fight back in any kind of way, they will be subtle. Meaning the other person will feel the pain, the other person will feel the consequences, but nobody outside of that will know what has happened. It's not that the INFJ will have any consequences to their actions. Because when the INFJ strikes back, they strike back in a psychological way. They hurt another person in such a way that makes a huge impact for the other person, but it doesn't have an impact in a real life. It's not like the INFJ is doing something illegal. It's not like we're using verbal or emotional abuse. We're just pretty much showing the truth. We're showing a mirror to another person and we're showing them something they don't want to see. It's incredibly hurtful, but guess what? It's subtle. Nobody will know, and so it won't have any consequences for an INFJ in the real world. And guess what? When you have a person like this, then there is no holding them back. Because again, if they have nothing to lose, they will strike. And since the INFJ won't face any real life consequences, they're pretty much unstoppable. There's nothing holding them back than the feeling the INFJ is going to have once they have to go to that length. Reason number 3 why it's so dangerous to mess with an INFJ is because they will fight back where it hurts. I've mentioned before, it's not going to have real life consequences. They're not going to go out of their way and make you lose your job or make another person have real consequences in their other relationships, but they will show you a truth. They will show you a truth that the INFJ has learned through simply being an observer. Through, on top of that, having a really good intentions with most people. Like INFJs go through life, they want to help others, they want to understand others, they want to allow others to be themselves, and they make room for that. But when another person takes up that room, it also allows the INFJ to see what they're all about. They see what the other person's insecurities are. They see what things they try to hide, not only from others, but from themselves. And that's where the INFJ hurts. They start showing you a different kind of reality that is based on all the insecurities that you feel about yourself. It's just like the INFJ morphs into another person. And for us INFJs, sometimes it's difficult to understand, who am I really? Am I the person that I was before? Am I the person that I am now? The truth is something in between because in the end, we never want to hurt people and we don't have to bluntly say to others, listen, I see that you're uncomfortable in these situations and you're insecure about these 3 things, and I'm going to present that to you. But in most cases, we hide it so well. So once we're really forced to bring that out, it hits people exactly where it hurts because they cannot hide from themselves and they cannot hide from their own insecurities. Reason number 4 why it's so dangerous to mess with an INFJ is that there is no coming back from that. The INFJ is never going to get into a battle where it's a back and forth. As I said, INFJs dislike drama. They're not going to get in any kind of relationship that is all about back and forth, arguing or hurting one another. There's nothing like this. The INFJ will try whatever is in their power to preserve a positive relationship, but once they see there is no way out of this, they have to confront the other person, they have to strike back. They will hurt you once, they will show you the truth in a very particular way, and it will be final. There's no coming back after that because the INFJ has made up their mind who you are to them, and that's how they proceed with life. They have put you in this category, they see you now in a different light, they project themselves, you, and their entire world in such a way that makes you hurt. And again, there is no striking back here, because the INFJ is already in a position where they can't be hurt by any of your opinions. Reason number 5 why it's so dangerous to mess with an INFJ is because they literally change you. Most people try to hide from themselves all their lives. They're not able to access those parts of themselves in such a capacity to go on such a subconscious level. But once they're forced to actually see that truth, because the INFJ mirrors back, a view of reality that, makes them aware of everything they've been hiding from themselves, the other person has no other choice but to change. Because they are confronted with this pain and they have to feel it, they can't hide from it, and every single time you confront it with this kind of pain, you automatically change. It changes you. You want different things, you go about your life differently, you as a person have changed. And it's a grieving process, it's a transformational process, and in most cases, I would say it's a good thing. But nonetheless, it's something that 99.9% of people will try to avoid because it's so painful. And so if you mess with an INFJ and it really gets to this place, be aware it's going to change you. It's not going to be just, oh, they were mean to me and that was an uncomfortable situation. No, you will carry this interaction with you for the rest of your life because from that moment on, you're going to be a different person. So people have to be aware that it's dangerous to mess with an INFJ, but are they aware of it? No. You might say, okay, maybe a person watches this video and they know, okay, I have an INFJ in my life and, this will protect me from this kind of interaction. I will try to do my best and be kind to them from the beginning. But, how many people will actually do that? It's a really small percentage. Most people will get into a situation with an INFJ. They will keep hurting the INFJ, and at some point, the INFJ will just strike back. And those are just the consequences. So what are people supposed to do? Are they supposed to change their behavior towards INFJs? Well, that would be nice, but the truth is you cannot make other people change. You cannot control what other people do. And we also have to keep under consideration that we as INFJs don't like striking back at all. Like, this is not something we're looking forward to. It's something that we as INFJs also try to avoid as much as possible. That is actually one of the main reasons why it gets so far. Because once you're really forced to show that truth, you cannot hide either. You're also showing the other person everything that you're capable of, all that strength that you have, and also the dark side that you have and that you carry with you. And it's something we try to avoid because on some level we feel if people don't think that we're good, we're not going to be valuable enough for them. This is based on so much we've experienced as children, but now as adults, we can really look at the situation differently. we can say, okay, I know that this is a pattern I go through. So what do all of those situations have in common that I've experienced in my life where it really led to me striking back, causing a lot of pain for the other person, and for me, having all of those consequences I mentioned? The thing that all of those interactions have in common and all of those relationship dynamics is you. And so you can change the way you approach them. And you will learn that once you start this process, it's so worth it. So the point is that whenever you meet somebody, and even if you've known people for a very long time, starting today, you are going to stand up for yourself, in small ways, not just once, it's gone overboard and people have crossed your boundaries over and over and over again. And every single time you try to justify it, you try to understand it, where the other person is coming from. If you look at the situation now from a different perspective, which is, how can I stand up for myself even in those smallest ways? So every single time somebody does something that doesn't sit right with you, you say something. You create this comfort, knowing that it's something that's going to be uncomfortable for you, but the more often you do it, the less uncomfortable it's going to get. Because the more you're going to be aware of what you are feeling, and the less you're going to be aware of what the other person is feeling. So you will change how you feel about the situation, and therefore will be much more your own best ally and your own best friend. Like, it's a completely different approach to how all of those relationships have gone so far. And I've worked with so many INFJs, and I've seen it in boot camp. I've seen people writing me after doing the audio guide. I've seen it in comments. It is something that INFJs really can get to. I've experienced that change, and I know you can too. So make sure that, starting today, you're going to be confrontational when it comes to people doing something that doesn't sit right with you. And you're not going to stand back because you're afraid of the consequences. Because the truth is, if you wait too long, at some point, you're going to react really harshly. That's when those door slam situations happen. That's when you really hit people exactly where it hurts. And you create situations that are way more painful than, you standing up for yourself in small ways. You will feel like it's confrontational, but once you've gone through that process, you will look back at it and understand that there was nothing confrontational about it. You were just making sure that you are protecting your own boundaries. And guess what? You have the right to do that. So make it a practice, lean into it. I know you got this. Remember, if you want some more guidelines, how to stand up for yourself, how to create that epic life for yours, then get the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life Formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the audio guide today. Everything you need to know, you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video, Why INFJs Seem So Intimidating to Other People.